What's up, fellas?
Good morning, my
Good
brother.
morning. Good morning.
Morning, family.
How y'all doing?
Good, man.
In
How,
Texas.
Good.
how you doing, Lamar?
Feeling like a gangster
Ooh,
as usual.
ooh.
How was vacation? You went on vacation, right, Dad?
Little private getaway from my girl. It was really nice, really nice.
Where'd you go?
Man, we was in Memphis for most of the time, but yeah, nice little
North,
trip.
North Memphis? Or
North. Nah, bruh, like no bull. There's so much culture in Memphis out here I never heard of before I came out here, man. For real.
You said private getaway, like you rented out a whole resort or something.
yeah,
Nah, man. But she had a little 3-day plan I made for her, so it was really nice.
nice itinerary. Yeah.
Exactly. She had a full itinerary.
Oh, you
30.
know how it be. You know how it be. They
Oh,
gotta
man,
get
we
everything done.
engaged now. We engaged.
See, I thought you was stunting with the Bitcoin money.
Oh, bro, I got to show you the Bentley I just caught too.
Yeah, you want your KP lifestyle?
I'm gonna show y'all the Bentley after we get off.
All right.
All right, so I haven't gotten a chance. Well, I did not take the chance to really prepare for today. Um,
Good
Obviously,
morning.
this is a business, and business has been taking up a lot of time. So for the podcast and stuff, we're still doing them, but it's been secondary. But I do got a story from the other, not a story, but something that caught my mind the other day. I went to the dentist, and as you become more informed, you start to look at things differently. And she was like, "How was your day? What did you do?" I told her what I did. She was like, "Oh, you trade stocks?" I was like, "Yeah." She said, "You must be rich." I was like, "No, not yet." She was like, "Well, I got these friends who do it, and they said you need at least 250,000 to start." That's what I know. That's what I was like. I said, that would be a great amount to start with, of course, but you really only need like 250 single dollars to start, and you really don't need that. And she says, "Oh, really?" I said, "Yeah." And we just were talking some more, and she was the lead dentist, like the manager dentist or whatever. So I was like, "Oh, do you own it?" She says, "No, no, no. I'm just an employee. I'm not the owning type." And that was just like a hurtful conversation.
Mm.
Like number one, clearly she had to work very, very hard to become a dentist, and not just a dentist, but a leader of other dentists. Somebody, whoever owns the practice, puts their trust in this woman to lead their practice when they're not there. And clearly, she makes some kind of reasonable amount of money being a dentist, and she's willing to work hard. But it was proof to me that we're doing the right thing, because information is everything. Information is everything. And something I've been noticing is that collectively, especially in our culture, we got to change the definition of what a lot of money is. Like we get a job and we make six figures. That's a lot of money. Like, no, that's not a lot of money. Like, six figures, period, is not a lot of money. If you compare it back to when like we were younger, and before all of the inflation numbers and stuff, it still wouldn't be a lot. It would be a good amount to start with and do something with. But some of our like virtual mentors, um, I sent y'all a video. I think it was last week. Dude made $100,000 in a day. You feel me? In a day. In a day. Um, Another dude that we follow, he's 24. He averages, he says, $6,000 a day in the market, and he doesn't even invest a lot of his money into the market. And as you start to explore people who actually do make money, their definition of a lot of money is completely different than the standard. And also, they overemphasize the importance of reading books. Everybody, they overemphasize the importance of reading books. Um, so I don't really know if I have a point besides the obvious. Maybe I got some thoughts that'll give us direction. But I think we definitely, no, I know collectively We definitely have to change our definition of what a lot of money is, and we most definitely need to seek out different information than the kind of information that is standardly fed to us in our community.
So I think I came away with 2 points from that. The first is a lot of money is different for each person, and I think part of being successful is defining what a good amount of money is for you, because your goal may be different from my goal, may be different from Kendall's goal. So that's a good exercise that everyone should do to understand their target. And then once you get there, that's now your floor, and you go from there. The second thing, based on the story you told about the dentist, the more you educate yourself about different things, the more you understand that the barrier for entry is usually not as high as what you think it is. Like you said, $250 can start an account. And really, you can start with less than that, because like for stock investing, there are penny stocks. There are services that allow you to just get partial ownership into a company. So not even a full share, but part of a share. And you build that up until you start to get full shares. I can't think of what the app is called. Is it Acorn?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, Acorn lets you get into the stock market without owning a full stock. So the more you do that research, the easier it is for you to take a step in the right direction.
Yeah, I definitely piggyback that, G. And Malcolm, it's proof that information is so powerful, right? Just like shortly a year ago, we didn't know anything, right? We watched YouTube, and just kind of were jumping in blindly. Then almost after a year of collecting information, then, as a collective, we start to see wins. We start to see that it's not that hard. All it takes is for you to consciously just sit down and learn the information. And that's the thing. A lot of people don't want to sit down and learn because they're partly is because they just got too much stuff going on and they don't think it is good for them, but also they probably don't believe they can do it. And that's a big part. If you don't believe that you can do it, then you're not going to invest in any time. Also, one thing that really stuck out to me about that dentist call was, I'm an employee, I'm not an owner type. And for me, that was huge, because a lot of people are actually scared to go on a limb, right? Some people like that stability of being an employee. They don't have to worry about the ups and downs of being an entrepreneur or being an owner, or they don't have to worry about the tough starting their business and realizing it may take 2 years before they have a breakthrough. So I think a lot of people have security in actually being an employee because they will get consistent money. So that was something that really stuck out to me, obviously, besides the lady thinking 250K, which like that junk is like surprising. Like, damn, like that means only elitists get to use the stock market. You tripping, lady? Maybe they just didn't want to hip you to it. Being selfish, but nah, like that employee versus owning really set me apart, because in 2020 you see so many people losing their job because they're employees, right? And you sent us that video yesterday about the Earn Your Leisure, about 2020 was so important for entrepreneurs because it gave them an opportunity to be creative. It gave them an opportunity to start something from scratch and like, hey, like we all can enter this year. We don't know what's going on. Like regular jobs aren't guaranteed, as we've seen millions of people lose their job. So why not start whatever you wanted to start? So I think the biggest thing for that is just like that belief. And that belief cycle that you will be able to do whatever business that you want to do, and pouring all your commitment into that glass, which will help you then, get your business off the ground. Because we're approaching 2 years, and we have a bunch of programs, and when the pandemic hit, we were forced to change, right? Which is has been really good for us because back whenever the world goes back to normal with with COVID and the pandemic, we will have so many services that we can provide that, hey, if the pandemic didn't happen, who would have known? If would we have thought about this? Would we have created the programs that we have? So the pandemic has been good for us because it allowed us to learn, to put more information, and just get more creative in what the services that we can offer. Because when you're a business, people want to know what service they can get and what experience they can get, and that really helped us because we have to think outside the box. And having a group of guys that are educators, and having a guy that is on an elite team with an elite company, it just only served us well.
And one thing that kind of stood out to me was the comment that you said, oh, you're in stocks, you must be rich. And it's always so funny that people think that when you start to go down a different path of like financial wealth or financial mindsets, that people automatically think that like, yo, you're rich and you're doing the right thing. So I think that said a lot within that, like stocks are actually pretty important because people do get rich off of those things. So that kind of stood off to me.
And I heard KG say this, it kills me every time. He said people tell him that they don't have the time. Everybody has the time. Everybody has the time. I don't care how many kids you got, how many wives you got, how many girlfriends you got, how many dudes you messing with, how much school you got going on, how much trauma you going through, minus something that is going to, leave you in a hospital bed, something like that. Of course, you got to fight through that. But outside of that, Ash, you right on the money, is those people are not willing to get out their comfort zone. They're not willing to get out their comfort zone. Right? Number one, it's going to require you to do more. It's going to require you to go to sleep a little earlier or later, or to get up a little earlier or later. Oh, well, I got a family and all that. All right, well, I'm going to stick to the men. Either you're lacking as a man, you don't have the right woman, or it's both. Right? Because you're going to have to do more for you to become better so you can do more for your family. Right? Which means you have to be the highest man that you can be. Right? Because that's where it's going to have to be the typical man-woman roles, like the man provider, the woman supporter, but that's not a given, right? That kind of relationship has to be earned by the man, right? And the woman must learn to appreciate that, but the man must earn it first, right? So if you can't wake up a little earlier or stay up a little later or study a little longer because of your relationship, something ain't right. That doesn't mean you don't have the time to do it. That just means your current setup is not right. Right? Waking up. A lot of people wake up too late. You want to change your life? Get up earlier. You won't miss the important things because you'll do it first. Like nobody's up. Like there's nothing going on. It's literally just you and what you got to do. Right? What time? And this is, I don't know. I know we don't have the answer. But what's the average time that a person wakes up? If you had to pick a time, what would y'all say?
I'll say post-pandemic. During pandemic, I would say probably 7:30 to 8, like since the pandemic started. That would be my guess.
What y'all say, G?
Yeah, I said the same thing, 7 to 8.
7 o'clock, 7 to 8, tune in.
All right, I was going to say 8, so let's go with 8. All right. What time? Now, I know this one is even a stupider question. What time do you think people normally go to sleep? Like 12?
Probably 11.
I'll say 12.
Definitely midnight.
All right, so that's 8 hours. So you go to sleep at 12, you get up at 8. What are people doing at night, the general person?
Laying in bed watching TV.
Entertainment.
Sitcoms.
All right. So
sitcoms.
TV, entertainment, kind of stuff. All right. What do you think is like the typical, this is even stupider, but the typical morning routine? Like, be general. Like, make breakfast, take care of
Wake up, check your phone, lay in bed. If you shower,
Get dressed.
Yeah, get dressed.
Don't even grab something to eat. People eat at work nowadays.
Yeah.
Leave out.
I mean, you gotta remember, people really aren't even going to work. So
Oh, yeah.
waking up and you going downstairs and you logging onto your computer.
Uh-huh.
Maybe you grab some food and you sit down right at your desk.
Right? Exactly. Right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
When we had games, did we just get off the bus and go on the field?
Hell
No.
no.
You go out there, you do a walkthrough, you just walk around the field or whatever.
Mhm.
Go back
Unless
to
you
the locker room.
LeBron.
Huh?
So unless you LeBron.
Nah, LeBron is going through mental. Nah, Bron is
He's
saying,
the first person in the building.
yeah, he if they got a game at 7 p.m., he probably there at 10 a.m., bro.
But I mean, you like, I see it like it's a war. Like it's a fight to get out of this vicious cycle that
Mhm.
we are normally born into. Like it's literally everything you got. And the only way to win a war, only way to even be in a war is to be militant.
Mhm.
Like T always says that about me. Like she says, you live like a militant lifestyle. Like you're so disciplined, you're so routine, you're so but if all right, don't not even 5. Like just get up at 6. If you don't change anything and you get up at 6, that's 12 to 6. That's enough sleep. Unless you're drinking and you're stressing and your body ain't right, you got some health issues you got to take care of. So you get up at 6. That's an extra 14 hours a week to do whatever you want to do. There goes your workout time. There goes your reading time. There goes your business time, right? And as you start to do that and you start to have some success, you start to dive even deeper into the process. So now, like what I do still to this day, when I eat, I read. So I read for 45 minutes to an hour in the morning. I'm reading while I'm eating, right? So that's 45 minutes plus another more or less 45 minutes throughout the day, 15, 30, 45, right? So that's an hour and a half a day. Do my workout in the morning, 45 minutes to an hour every single morning. Almost at 800 days in a row now. Didn't miss a single day. Missed one day of reading in 2 years, which still pisses me off. Then work on your business. So then when you come home, like you just start to use your time in a different fashion, right? While everybody else is watching the game, you're doing the work now so that in 10 years, you'll be courtside of the game. While you're still making money while you're courtside because your money is working for you, right? Or while everybody else is watching TV, all that kind of stuff, you working on your body so that when you get that money, you're around to keep it. I don't know if I said it on the podcast, but a couple of weeks ago, Justin and I forgot Justin wasn't going to be here. He's taking a little mental health vacation. Our mentor, our real estate mentor back in the day, he was really helping us out, taking us to all these properties, giving us all this information. We was having all these meetings. The one day we got a call that he was in a hospital for like no specific reason. The reason was exhaustion, right? Because he worked extremely hard on his real estate, but he wouldn't work on his body. He wouldn't work on his vehicle. So we had the 1992 Civic driving it all crazy, not getting an oil change, not updating the parts. Right. So then when we left, his wife was like, yo, like for now, mentorship is done. No disrespect, but you see what happened to him. We're like, cool. Right. So throughout the years, we maintained a relationship, but now he like just blew up. He was killing it in Capitol Hill, all these multi-million-dollar properties, had a nice little podcast, building this network, new cars, all this kind of stuff. Just this summer during the pandemic, he just passed away. He just passed away because he wouldn't work out. He wouldn't work out. And I say that the number one thing to instill discipline is to work out. That's the hardest thing. I think that's clear by now. Because like people I speak to, they don't got no problem working hard in their business. They don't got no problem getting interested in money. But the workout part is the hardest part. But if you make that a priority, it'll change your life. So, but the point is, the time is there. You're just not putting the time in. And most likely, I would say it's because you don't believe you can do it. Like if I said, like, yo, I need you to study an extra 15 hours this week, next Tuesday, I'm going to cut you a check for 10 mil. You think they're going to get that 15 hours done? Yeah, they go.
Yeah.
All right. So I ain't going to wrap up about this, but The time is there. You just have to make it important enough to you to use that time.
Real quick, because you touched on a couple of things that I think that I would assume people struggle with. I don't know this to be a fact, but when I think about the average 9 to 5, it's probably very stressful. And I think people use that time after work to unwind. And I say that to say that people probably lack more efficient or more effective ways to unwind. Because I know, I'm no different than anybody else. When I get off of work, I do need a minute to just kind of let go, decompress. But maybe let's talk about some things that you do, or Kendall, some things that you do to actively recover, actively focus and de-stress, because people probably struggle with that.
Perfect. That's a great idea. Also, getting up in the morning, like if you're in a relationship or you're married, right? Like one thing that getting up in the morning does, it allows you to have time, quiet, and ability to think just by yourself, right? So you're not distracted. It's just you, your thoughts, and what you need to do. That's the first part. But yeah, I talked about this on my IG and Facebook earlier this week about this idea of self-care. And that's extremely important. And many people journal, movement, read. So what I would suggest to people, especially now, is to instill some type of form of self-care. Go for a walk, read for 30 minutes, just take 30 minutes for yourself, right? Because it's okay if you just take 30-minute recovery for yourself and not do anything right after work. That's okay, right? You allows you to mentally digest what's going on, right? But right after you have that 30 minutes, then get to it. Also have a schedule, right? Where you can schedule that time, that recovery time. Like if you know you're on the computer from 8 to 5, right? And you take a recovery after work, don't just be like this, because you still staring at the screen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Put your phone down, sometimes what I like to do is I'll go to YouTube and I'll put it on another room, and then I'll just play like the sounds of like nature or anything just to bring me back down, right? And it allows me to recenter before I transition to whatever I have to do, right? Get yourself a snack, eat some food, right? But just like Malcolm put it up, it's not a break, it's a recovery, right? And the reason why we want to say recovery, because a break, when you just take a break, it's like, all right, I'm relaxing. Like recovery is active. Recovery, you're actively recovering. You're bringing yourself back. When I think of a break, I just think of you not like doing anything. Also, if you have the opportunity during work, like say if you have a lunch break, I said, look, lunch break, like say if you have that lunchtime or anything like in the middle of the day. See, I'm a little different because I'm a teacher. So like our schedule's different. So from 12 to 1:15, that's like I don't have anything, right? So get a walk in, get a workout in, read, journal how you feel. If you want to, if some of your self-care is to check in with someone, check in with someone. Anything like that will allow you to mentally disconnect from what you have to do at work for a second, to allow yourself to, because if you don't disconnect right away, you're going to be so heightened and won't be able to focus. It's going to be hard to focus for all those hours in a row. It's impossible to do if you don't have mental recovery times for yourself. So you have anything, Malcolm?
Yeah, and it's not going to be that nice. If you struggle with G is talking about, you need to go harder. You need to go harder. That means you don't have a why yet. Like I said, this is a war. You are a man or a woman on a mission, right? Something that I always say is when you get home after work or after school, use the rest of your day to change the rest of your life. That's why take it how you want to take it. That's why I absolutely love the pandemic. because I got so much time to use. Like I could not wait to get home after work. Right? I was a man on a mission. I always refer to that conversation with Jess. I left Jess' house that day. I was never the same dude again. Never. And I struggled. I was like, what am I going to do? Because like I was totally like when people get it, yo, you're going to know. That's why I be hard on some of y'all, because like you're going to know. You're going to be a new dude. Right? And it got to the point, it burned me up so much. And one day when we have him on the podcast or whatever, he's now at Harvard studying for his PhD. He'll confirm it. I called my principal and told him I quit. Say, this job is in the way. My mission is no longer to impact the kids at this school. You feel me? I was blessed with a gift that needs to impact people around the world. It was in my way. And he was like, no, he just started laughing. He said, you thought I was playing when I said I brought you here for reasons that didn't have nothing to do with math? He's like, do your thing, yo. He said, I know you don't care about school. I know you don't care about your evaluations, but I know you love the kids, so you're not going to BS. Right? Then that next week, we started the Game 7 meetings in the morning. Right? So what I would do then, when I would come home, as soon as I walk through the door, that's workout time. That's workout time. Right? Then right after that, let's check on Nas. That's homework time. Right after that, that's dinner. Then right after that, it was back to work. Every single day. Every single day. Every single day. Then I kind of had to rewind a little bit because it started to become a strain on my relationship. Because it was like she wasn't even there. Like in my mind, she was. I believed, but I was very ignorant to how it came out. It was like, I'm doing this now so she can get all these things she wants later. She don't understand that later can be tomorrow. Like I've seen, it turns out to be tomorrow. It's not 5 years. It's not 10 years from now. And I'm battling at the time 29 years of a bad process to get towards these lofty. I didn't even have the lofty goals. I had already reached my goals, right? So then I had to learn to incorporate intentionally, like family time, relationship time into that, right? And for all those years before, I would come home, I'm just getting ready for the next day. Nothing about me. Everything was for job. It was just a break. Weekend, I get to let loose, huh? Then you get the Monday. I love Mondays now. I don't have Monday morning blues no more. Weekends are dope, right? Because we get a lot more Game 7 time. But when the market open, like I hate Mondays for work. I still do. You feel me? But I love Mondays for my business, and I love Mondays for the opportunity to generate income to be able to do more with business and serve more people and change my life and change those around my life, change those who are around my life. Right? So if you struggle with that, that means you need to go harder. And the part with self-care that people get, like, it ain't no easy thing. You talk to any therapist, you talk to any social worker. What they do is minor. The things that you do between your sessions are major. It's just like class. You got to do the homework. You go to therapy, they're going to give you a book to read. You got to read the book. They're going to give you assignments to do. You have to do the assignments. Right? When you're depressed, they're going to tell you to go outside. And it's so hard for a depressed person to step out the door. Right? It's the work between. And you have to do it every day, because it's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle. So, and if you say like, yo, Malk, I don't know what my passion is. I don't know what that thing is. That's fine. Because I did not know. I had no clue. So I just started studying people who were successful. I would just go on YouTube, motivational speeches, find out who said it, who spoke it, like go in the credits or the notes or whatever under the video. Boom, look that person up, listen to them. All right, listen to that person up, listen to them. Look that person up, listen to them. Then I started intentionally following women too, so I can figure out how women, because I thought women would be a little bit softer, but they not. They're a little bit more humorous, but they dogs too. It's very direct. It's very direct. And what I noticed was they kept talking about every day. So I'm like, what every day? I don't know what to do every day. And then I kept hearing them talk about health. All right. So that's when I started working out every day. All right. What else should I do? I kept seeing them talk about reading. So I started reading every day. Right. And just from becoming stronger mentally and physically and learning more, things started to line up. And I was listening to my world. Like I said, I never wanted to be no speaker. I never wanted to be no kind of therapist kind of person. But everybody kept telling me that. I was like, all right, let me give it a shot. And then the dude came to KG about the opportunity to talk to the kids. Boom, Game 7 came about. But so if you don't know what to do, use the rest of your day to change the rest of your life. Don't use the rest of the day to prepare for tomorrow for your same old life. That's the part you're gonna have to accept. It's gonna be hard as FU, 2 other letters. It's gonna be the hardest thing you've ever done. Because you already got a 40-hour-a-week schedule or a 50-hour-a-week schedule. You're already in your relationship. You already are a father or son or whatever things you got going on in life. So the only way to break that is to do more. Because you have to get to the point to where your part-time profits match your full-time wages, which means you got to voluntarily do overtime every day. You got to turn into an overtime lifestyle. So if you home struggling and all that, spend some time with yourself every day. And I guarantee.
Let me jump in. My bad. Just one thing I find cool. The more I watch YouTube videos or the more I read, the people who have done whatever it is you're trying to do, the good ones, they'll give you breadcrumbs. They'll give you hints. They'll tell you what to do, and you just have to listen. Yeah. And for me, I know the type of person I am. I like people to prove things before I just say, okay, I'm going to listen to this person. But again, the people who are extremely successful, which means that they've proven whatever it is they're trying to tell you, they'll give you the way. And you just have to be humble enough to accept it and to take notes because your path may be different from theirs. But Malcolm, like you said, you listen to this speaker and this speaker and this speaker. If you just take a little part from each person and you put it together and you align that with whatever your morals are, you then start to build this plan to take you to the next level.
Yeah, very true. And the key word there is listen.
Yeah.
A lot of us just hear.
Mm-hmm.
I heard them, but I'm not willing to do that. And tell yourself the truth. That's another thing we do. We be in denial. Like, yo, I want to look good, but I don't want to be healthy. I want to be able to travel the world, but I don't want to be wealthy. All right? I want to be able to make money, but I don't want to work hard. Like, if you tell yourself the truth, but that also comes from spending time with yourself, you know? And G said it too. You don't always need proof. You don't always need proof. Like, a lot of people on the internet that talk about things.
We lost you, Mal.
I'm still going?
Are you back? You back.
All right. A lot of people on the internet that talk about things, they don't really do them. Like, they picked up something from a book or another video, they made their own channel, got a camera, boom, right? So it doesn't necessarily have to be, I'm talking about at the beginner level, right? Like, don't go take no stock course from somebody who can't show you that they know what they're doing, right? I'm talking purely at the beginner level, right? So, like G said, it just may be one thing. Listen to it and go do it. Listen to it and go do it. So let's spend two more minutes here. Then we're gonna let Dev do the crypto and whatever else he got going on. So any more comments about breaking that standard routine?
Yep. So I have a comment about that. He had to really say like certain ways to kind of get it. I know that one thing. It's different paths. I know as far as working in like the business world, where you have emails all day, you're doing different things. One thing that I kind of instilled in my life is coming home. You should get home around between 5 o'clock or whatever, but I usually take about an hour just to detox. I call it a detox. It's just like, whether or not I sit around, I look at my phone, or I plan what I'm gonna do for that night, it just gives me that full hour to kind of like switch gears and say, I'm not focused on work no more. Now I'm gonna start focusing on my own business or working on photos or videos and things like that. So I think it's good practice to at least maybe take an hour, maybe 30 minutes as soon as you come home, just to kind of detox if you need to. And then that way you're able to focus 100% on the next thing. So
So how do you detox, Pizzle?
Usually, I don't really watch TV like that. So sometimes when I come home, I just kind of like sit here, I'll get on my phone, or I'll plan out and I'll think about like, what's the next project I need to do, or what's the next photo, or how I'm gonna do this. That's typically how I detox. Or sometimes it just depends. It just depends on what it is.
So would it be beneficial to you to cut that time down to be more efficient if you could still do your detox in a smaller amount of time?
For me, no.
It wouldn't be more beneficial.
No.
Why not?
Sometimes I need that break because my particular job, sometimes when you get them 60 to something emails all day and you've been working, you got up 7 o'clock doing everything. Sometimes I need that time just to like cut it and switch.
You're misinterpreting my question. So you detox 100%. You detox at the level you need to, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But would it be more efficient to reach that 100% detox level in 30 minutes or 15 minutes as compared to an hour?
Not really. 15 minutes, no. 30 minutes is kind of iffy. For me, it takes a full hour, and I'm keeping it 100.
But what are you doing to detox? What is your body doing when you detox?
Resting, I guess.
Right. Okay. Correct. So what you're doing when you're detoxing is you're turning your sympathetic nervous system down and turning up your parasympathetic nervous system.
Okay.
Right. And it takes an hour, more or less, right now, because there may not be an intentional process. Now you may be going through your cool down to get yourself right. You feel me? I'm saying like that's even like that could be. So while you're detoxing now, right? Like what worked for you. Learn about what is that doing to you. Like, all right, I don't do TV. I'm just going to chill here. Learn about what's going on, right? Because I'm saying like as you have that skill, you can carry that with you through the day and through the night. Is that making sense?
A little bit. We'll talk offline. A little bit. I'm trying to get it back. I think I see your general point though.
All right, and I see y'all in the comments, but that's a good conversation to have.
Yeah.
We can have it some other time. I'm just saying it just comes from being more informed. Because just like I was saying before the call, what you do takes massive amounts of time. You feel me? Like it can be perfectly planned. It can be totally informed. Then you get in there and it takes an hour and a half to do a 30-minute video, right? Mm-hmm. So time is of the essence, right? So I'm just saying that I know everybody always get nervous when these kind of things come on. We are, G. We are. Time is of the essence. I'm just talking about going into what KG was talking about with the self-care, right? It's important to be efficient. To be efficient, right? So I'm just saying, like with the self-care, is understanding what's going on. All right, so I know this works for me, right? Or I know this works for me. So what is happening here so I can stay here more? Or what's going to happen so that once I leave the office, I immediately start, like, what am I, like, I know sometimes you walk from the metro if you don't drive. Like, what should I listen to there? Like, what hurts marinates with my brain. Like, I know when I turn music cool off, I know I need 396 hertz. I learned it. Some other people need 452. You know, so I'm just talking about, it's like going from a diesel vehicle to an electric vehicle. You follow me? So I'm talking about that, to keep it efficient. I got G bodyguard permission. But I just wanted to point that out because it's like a lot of people do nothing to detox.
Yeah, I mean you should definitely do something. Even during my detox, like I said, I'm still pondering on what I'm going to do, and I'm still building, I'm still planning, I'm still sitting there like, all right, cool, let me look at this YouTube video on how to add captions or floating captions or something. It's just more like not like a physical way, but it's more like a planning way. So that way, when I switch to the physical, it's like, all right, I'm good. It's 100% efficient. If that makes sense.
No, that makes sense. Have you ever tried planning the day ahead or the week ahead?
Typically, I mean, I have a feel of what I'm gonna do. When it comes to like feel fatigue or like videos and things like that, it gets it's different. Like I know that, all right, Tuesday I'm gonna work on videos, but it's so tedious in the process. It's hard to say, yo, I'm gonna do this in this particular day at this particular time, because it's like you don't know if that's enough time to even cover what you're gonna knock out. So I think for my situation, it's a little different. But in general situations, I can see how it can work.
I challenge you to give a shot, but just leave a space for amendments. Right? Because we only have 100% energy. Right? Everything we do is over 100%. So it would be ideal to use that for your art as opposed to prepping for your art.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this goes into the self-care thing. Because shoot, maybe you can come on for an hour and do nothing. You feel me? Like instead of having to plan while you're detoxing or whatever you may do, like maybe that can be time to do something or nothing. All right.
Yep.
Dev, you ready, Dev? Hey, I see you, Kels.
Yeah, that's right.
Be on the call, Mr. Charles. I detox by writing. Is that a real loss? Yeah, of course.
Yeah, let me jump. Yes, Mr. Charles, like, yes, that is a perfect way, right? Because for some people, when they physically exert energy, right there, that is like their physical release, right? So self-care is many ways. Like movement is that's actually one of my favorite ways of self-care, because and especially why I love playing football so much, because it was a violent sport, right? So when I was younger, I was a little angry because like I didn't know my pops. Like I was angry for a lot of reasons. So that was a way for me. Like you hear people saying like, when I play this sport or I do this, it's escape. So like when I get those physical motions and movements and moving my body, I'm releasing all of that energy, that pent up negativity that I have, and it's being erased by movement. Obviously, that may not be the case for other people. Some people like to meditate. Some people like to do both. Some people like to journal. But going definitely by cycling is a perfect way, because you're physically getting that negative energy and negative space out of your body. And then when you finish and complete a workout, your body releases endorphins that are going to make you feel better. That's why every time you finish a workout, you have like that big jolt of energy afterwards. Like you feel good about yourself because you accomplished something, like you did something. So that's why usually when after your workout, you might be broke off like, whoo, I'm hurting, but it's like a good feeling because you know you accomplished something and you know you pushed yourself to the limit.
And then I'll go with Mr. Charles where I was going to Fizzle, because I don't think everybody get it. All right, while I'm writing, what is going on? Right? Like everybody should look up is Wim Hof. He's like a superhuman.
Tough.
Primarily because he knows what's going on. Like, I ever notice, like when a little kid cry, they do like the sniffle thing. Right? So something I learned, like that's how when he does all of that cold stuff and they climb the mountains in they boxers, you double inhale. Right? Then you exhale. Like that double slows your heart rate down even more. Right? And it also increases the proper chemicals that you need from your brain. Right? So I'm saying the more you understand it, like literally you got to turn into a machine. You don't have to. Right? But just everything. Come on, Ray. Everything that you do, I'm saying just like continue to get better and improve it. So while you're detoxing, improve your detox process. Because it's going to come a day to where it's too snowy outside and your mechanical bike is broke. It's like, dang, my detox is going. It's going to happen. And that's not that far-fetched. What you got, Ray? Go ahead, Ray.
I said, so I'm gonna give an out for the people that are on the far extreme who still like to partake in leisure activities. So I'm gonna say maximize your leisure activity, whatever that is. So, or pay for it. I'm gonna say that. So if you like to drink, right, or you like to have cigars or whatnot, you know you have to still get a workout in, right? But whatever workout you get in, you have to pay extra for that. So if you know you're going to have one drink, whatever workout you do that you normally we're gonna do without the drink, right? You got to do like twice that now. So if you know you're gonna have that drink, or if you know you're gonna have 2 drinks, instead of running 1 mile, you got to run 1.5 miles. You got to run 2 miles. You got to run 3 miles. You know what I mean? You're gonna have to. I'm not gonna say, like I said, pay for it. If you want to partake in a leisure, then you're gonna have to actually put in that work to earn that leisure, you know, just in a different way. So if you do want to partake in some type of leisure, like, just maximize that.
That depends on what level you want to be on, how important it is. Like, for example, a cheat day. Like, people that have diets or whatever, they cheat on the weekends. That's a -4 for the month, -48 for the year. If you're cool with that, cool. Right? But if your mission is to be as healthy as possible, you don't have cheat days. Right? Now, if you need to mix that in to get into the process, cool. Right? But, and like, this is me. I get it. Like, I made the decision to stop eating all the meat. Boom. Never cheated again. I just made the decision. Done. I made the decision to stop drinking. Don't drink no more. Done. Right? There's no leaving the little 1% in for me. It's like, what kind of person do you want to be? Now, what you said is not bad. I'm not like arguing that. Right? But it's like a certain level. Now, that's why this is called Game 7. It's everything. It's absolutely everything. Everything you got. Like, I don't leave 1% left. Because like that 2 miles, by doing whatever that's the opposite of it, is really only like 1.5. That's why you did the extra, to kind of balance it off. You know? But what you said is not wrong. It depends on how important or what level you want to be at.
Okay. So if you're running, right, and you want to get faster, right? You're running 4 miles a day. Mm-hmm. And you wanted to pick that time up, would you put ankle weights on?
Yeah.
So would you like put a weight on yourself to train harder to get your body at a further pace?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just
let me jump in here real quick. So I said this yesterday to one of our mentees that we work with. Like, it's nothing wrong with having like hobbies or having leisure time, right? But the thing is, you just, like, if you have a lot of things to do, finish those things before you take the leisure time, right? It's simple. So, but yeah, I think we should transition, because Dev, and I see Dev over there typing and getting that Bitcoin presentation ready. But I just want to finish. It's totally okay to, you know, perform in leisure activities and entertainment, right? But just get your stuff done first, so then you can have the other time to do it.
Once again, depends on what's important, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You play the game because you're trying to be professional. Like, you're on a team in the league. I cut the game too. Everything cut. All of it's going. And I literally don't have the time for it.
Mm-hmm.
I literally don't. You feel me? So, like, it's not wrong. But I'm saying it's like, once you get a certain drive, like, all of it matters. All of it matters. All of it matters. But all right, let's do the Bitcoin. You ready, Dad?
For sure. I'm yeah, it's gonna be very, very short, and I'm just seeing some of y'all making sure I had time, so I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's secondary to me. Oh, and while Dev is pulling this up too, to whoever watches consistently, take it as information, right? Dev is consistent with this. He like passes like, yo, it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity. It's an opportunity. Look at this, but it's overwhelming for me. Like, I can't do it yet, because the stock market is taking up so much information. So as he shows you this, take it in. And if it's your thing, dive into it. But don't feel the need to learn it all, because it's speaking for me, it's too much. Like, I would have to shift there. But
it took me years. It took me years to fully get what's going on.
And it makes sense that you've been trading the longest out of all of us too. So you already know the stock market, so you can have a extensive library of
Yeah, I'd have been in Forex, stocks, options, all of that, man. And I keep learning.
Right before you get started, I think that's a great lesson, Mal. This is too much for you right now. I think it's good to understand that maybe your lifestyle or my lifestyle or KP's lifestyle, whatever we talked about today, is specific to us. And again, we can pick up things from each of us, or the people watching can pick up things from each of us, but there's no one way to be successful. So as we transition into learning something new, do it at your pace, but just keep up the pace.
Yeah, do it at your fastest pace.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. All right.
There you go.
All right. So the first thing I wanted to know. Hold on. Can y'all see my screen? My internet?
Yeah, we see it.
All right, sir. All right, bet. So first thing I wanted to go in was ETFs before I got into crypto. Now, there's these things called ETFs, and actually I'm gonna start here. ETFs are basically different big companies that hold a whole lot of money that make little categories, and then they'll invest all of the assets they have under management into categories. So there's different categories, different. Matter of fact, if I clicked on this, you can see it's anything from the money market to China equities to commodities like oil and gas to anything you could think of, government bonds, anything you can think of. There's an entity somewhere that has a lot of money that wants to just invest in that category. And moving on, there's this category or company called ARK. And say you wanted to look and see what ARK is doing. I have 2 ARK investments or ETFs up here. Now this website is called etfdb.com. And basically you can just look up any of the ETFs in the world and find them here and then compare and contrast them. And I have a point I'm getting to, so keep up with me. Don't let me leave you. All right, so these 2 ETFs I could put side by side and compare them. Now, ARK F is one of theirs and ARK K is one of theirs. And I just wanted to show y'all what they got going on. One has 2 billion assets that they are investing in different stuff, and one has 21 billion. And then there's some with trillions. Now, trust me, I have a point, so keep with me, all right? So these 2 have in the billions. Now, say you like, man, I want to invest in a lot of stuff, and I like the innovation aspect. So let's see what they're put in their holdings. You could click holdings and get a lot of information on what they got. So how many holdings, how many is in their top 10, top 15, top 50, so on and so forth. All right, what are those actual holdings? So this innovation, the ARK K, they had 10% of all those billions of dollars in Tesla, Roku, Square, all of these different things, Spotify, all these innovative companies that you might not even ever heard of. And on this one, she's focused on new, and I say she, her name is Kathy Wood that directs these. She's a genius. So these are all those financial services she's been putting money into years that she foresaw to become the big players, from Alibaba to PayPal to Pinterest to Square to Tencent, which is a Chinese finance. So all of these things, Amazon. So all of these companies that you like, damn, I would like to invest in them too. Investing in ETFs gives you that ability to like grab that sector. And for some people that don't have like a lot of bread that they want to trade and create cash flow, if you want to residually, say every month or bi-weekly, put money into certain like realms, those I believe are 2 good realms, and I'm gonna show you right here. So this is the beginning of 2020, and they went from a low of about $16, and this is the ARK F, into right now about $50. and this is a weekly. Okay, as you see, they're just riding up. And if you looked at those holdings, I don't think, let's go back to the comparison. I'm not thinking these holdings are going down. These financial services are not going down. And if they do, they switch them up. They got these teams of experts. You know what I'm saying? These, like, we have a little team, trust and believe, their team is crazy. So I always like to follow the teams and see what they've been investing in and see how that's working. So to see how it's working, you just click on performance. 2-week return, 4-week return, 13-week return, 26-week return. These is crazy. And like for half a year, 78%, half a year, 50%, especially for people that are like casually going in. 1 year return, 100% or 166%. And these are young. This don't even got 3 years under the belt. This over 3 years, 265%. So residually, you can grasp a field. All right. And so moving on from ETFs. Oh, and the ARK K, which is the innovation one, same pattern if you notice. But this pattern went from around a low of around 30 to right now 140, and that's in since March. And so it really gives you a chance, and you could trade options, fellas, on this as well. You know what I'm saying? This is not just for residually investing or putting your money into. You can also trade the options to capture this growth, and that ain't nothing but growth. Even before the March dip, they was riding at top of the Bollinger, and then that March hit every single company in the whole market. And then what? 1 month later, they above all these moving averages, and they never dipped. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I would definitely take a look in ARK. And finally, on ETFs, ARK is creating this, or they filed for a space innovation. And so if you look at the ETFs and you see how much money, for example, 2 billion, 21 billion, that money goes into the company. So the money is buying the stock. So those stocks then will go up. And so I got into Virgin Galactic back again after that dip with anticipations of 1, them not quitting to getting into space. 2, the company itself is one of the few public companies that you can actually invest in that are in this space race right now. And 3, ARK going into it is not only going to put actual money into it, but also going to bring a crowd of investors because of her success. You know what I'm saying? These people are getting successful from her, so they're going to follow. But moving on to crypto. All right. Now, a lot of people, well, my boys online saw some of this, and so I wanted to make sure I gave people out there in the world the ability to see this. So Bitcoin and more. Now, evolution of money, as seen in this picture, has gone through a lot of steps. And pretty much starting at paper money, people, or even metal, they're like, what is this? It has to be explained. Paper, like, what? What is this? Then the plastic cards and checks, like, how does this work? And this is just in the 80s. Electronic money. Our grandmas and older people still are familiar with this one. And then boom, this joint came out. So these are very similar. However, these right here are controlled by people and each other. This right here controlled by banks. All right. So what is it? Like, actually, what is it? It's digital money created from code. Now that might seem like, what? Code? Like, it's basically these arithmetics and all of this mathematics and all these geniuses. Like I'm talking about on the level of Tim Cook, Bill Gates, you know, Steve Jobs. These gentlemen created these types of economies that don't depend on the banks. However, they all have this technology called blockchain technology, which is the latest technology out there. Every single company, from fish companies to financial bank companies, are all like getting their foot into, and we just happen to be in the very beginning of it. So I'm not trying to convince you to get in it. I'm trying to convince you to look it up and see what's going on, and I'm gonna show you how to get in it. So the big dogs in the game Ethereum and Bitcoin. If there's no other crypto that you get, please get your foot into Bitcoin and Ethereum. I suggest you get more. I could show you how to get more, but those are the big dogs. All right, now, the big dogs in the game now are starting to get this money from institutions, companies, capital funds like ARK, who have billions and trillions of dollars that their clients want them to use. Okay? Now, as you see right here, it's not a small thing. These Bitcoin ATMs and things of that nature and airports, and it's global wide. And I'm going to show you. So this is the little 6-question trivia I gave my boys, but I'm going to just go through this quickly. So how long has crypto existed? About 12 years old for BTC, which is Bitcoin, and 6-year-old for the second oldest, which is Ethereum. All right. So how much money is in crypto? Not sure, right? Total market cap as of last week or 2 weeks ago was 883 billion. Over the weekend and over the last week, it topped $1 trillion and then retraced a little bit to 980 billion. So in a matter of 2 weeks, it went up about 100-something billion, or if not 200 billion, and it came down and it's sitting right below $1 trillion in a matter of 2 weeks. So if you don't think money is going in, do the math yourself. So how much is one Bitcoin? So last time I did it, it was about 27. Now it's in the 35K to 40K range. And that 40K range is the current resistance. I can smell it. So what percentage of all the money is crypto invested in Bitcoin? Like, what's the money? Like, it was 72%. And now it's currently 66%. So you're like, what does that mean? It means that percentage of money that was in Bitcoin that compared to all other crypto, the amount of money that's in Bitcoin is going down, but Bitcoin is still rising. So it's more money, but less of all the money focused on just Bitcoin. It's starting to spread out to those other coins that are in the market called altcoins. So the money is starting to spread. It's starting to leak into the other coins. And not little money, billions of dollars starting to trickle into other coins. So how many cryptocurrencies exist? Over 8,000. It's not just Bitcoin and Ethereum. It's more than you know. And it's not like, it's just like any other financial, you know what I'm saying, learning platform or any other thing. It's not really taught to us. You have to like go and find out. And so you're like, how many is in there? Millions? And then you realize it's almost $1 trillion. And you're like, wait, how many billions is that? So yeah. So then I ask everybody, how many different coins do you have? And right here, this is Smokey not knowing what to say. He's like, bro, I don't even know what happened. And so I really want to bring up just the four things, and then I'm going to end this presentation. So creating a budget, how to actually get into it, what coins to get or how to look for coins, how to actually invest, and applying an exit strategy. And so creating a budget for biweekly and monthly investing is the first thing. And I have that up here for people that aren't sure how to do it. So there's templates online, and this is personally my biweekly budget. And so these things allow you to put in numerical values, and it calculates every single thing for you, every single thing. So say, for example, for wages, you get, I do this for biweekly, you could do it for monthly or whatever, but say you get $2,000 biweekly. I will put it in both because it's what you project and you already know how much you're getting paid. So now you can start putting things in, say, for rent. Now you pay rent once a month, so you will put here half the amount if this is for your biweekly. So say say your rent is $1,000. So every one of these paychecks, you need to put 500. And so as you see, my income is 2,000, but the expenses is already starting to get subtracted. And when you do this to its entirety, so for example, paying yourself, whether it be emergency house fund, savings, retirement, Forex, stocks, digital currency, vacation. My boys know I'm very diverse and very organized. And so when you start to pay yourself first and then pay your bills, then pay yourself, then you can realize, all right, how much money I got for Netflix and music and dining out and groceries. You know what I'm saying? How much money do I have for saving for medicine, doctor's visits, if charity, tithes, how much are these bills? And so you really, really need to see where all of your money is going, and then find out, dang, I really shouldn't be spending so much on entertainment. Maybe I should spend more on savings. And then you kind of like have that convo with yourself. So I very much feel like every single person should have their own budget and really be inputting things and see how much money they take out, things of that nature.
Hey, Dev.
What's up?
Real quick, it looked like you got that template, excuse me, from a website or something. Can you tell us where you got it from?
I got you. So this template right here, I just searched on Google for a budget template, Excel format. But if you can see my screen, I'm gonna open up a tab. All you would need to do, say budget templates. You can put Google Sheets, Excel. If I put Excel right here, boom, there's literally all different types of spreadsheets that work for different people. I believe this one is the one I have, or very similar to the one I have. Yeah, this one right here looks like mine. And so there, you just type in Google, research, and find one that you personally like. But man, I've had this one for years. I don't even know. I remember the source. I'm pretty sure it's from like a Microsoft Office Excel budget template. But yeah, that's what I would do, is search on Google for a template. That's an excellent question.
Hey, Dad.
Excellent. What's up?
Can you answer Mr. Charles's question before we go? I'm not sure.
Absolutely. I can't even see it. Go ahead and read it for me.
I put it on the screen. I'm not sure exactly what he's referring to, but he posted it when you was talking. So can you pre-choose how many weeks you want it to turn over? And is it wise to do it that way?
Could you repeat that question for me, Malcolm?
Can you pre-choose how many weeks you want it to turn over? And is it wise to do it that way?
Are you talking about the budget? Is there any way that he can converse with us, or is he talking about the budget or the crypto?
He said Bitcoin.
Okay, yeah. So that's a great question. You can, if I'm getting your question correctly, you can just ask me another question if I don't answer it. You can invest in Bitcoin like at the push of a button whenever you want to. You can set it up to do it 1st and 15th. You can set it up to do it on any day of every week. You can set it up that you put it in when you want, take it out when you want. It's endless ways to put in, put out when you want it, when you don't want it, anything like that. And actually, I'm gonna put in a link. The exchange or place that I use to do it is Coinbase, and I'll put my referral link into the chat. But yeah, if that doesn't answer your question, I'm more than happy to go back over it. But so that budget is the first step. Second step, opening and funding an exchange account. And so that's really like, where do I even start? And so I use this right here. This is called Coinbase. Okay. And so right now, for example, these are some of the prices of the top coins on Coinbase. Now, if I were to, let's say this is an exchange and it's also like a wallet. If any of you guys hold stocks, you have an exchange. A lot of people use Webull, TD Ameritrade, Robinhood. So the exchange is like Coinbase, and all of these coins are like stocks in the market, or things that you can hold or trade. Like I can buy and sell any of these anytime I want, just on my phone, and it transfers to my computer as well.
The market is open 24 hours, right? 7 days a week.
7 days a week. So when the weekend is down and people still want to trade, this is the only place to go. And when the stock is up, stock is down, stock is sideways, this market is always going. It's always booming one way or another. And it's also global. So you know how it's like we can't really invest in all the Chinese stocks in their market, or we can't always invest in, say, Korean stocks, or this, that, and the third is just not available. This is literally literally available to 7 billion different people. And everybody's money can be converted into these specific currencies. And these specific currencies also have set circulating supplies and things of that nature. So deflation and inflation are calculated, and so that it never occurs unexpectedly, or the value is never at a disadvantage, unlike where the US dollar is going down right now. And so as you see right here, Bitcoin is down over 7 days, 12%. It's at 35K.
You gotta finish up, Dad.
I got you. Good. Appreciate that. And so a lot of these, say, for example, right now you see Ethereum and Bitcoin. What's he talking about? They're down. They're down. These numbers were in the teens of thousands just a couple months ago. And so right now, over the 7 days, yeah, those were down. But as you see, just these couple ones, 78%, 50%, 40%, 40%, all of these different coins, I have about, I'll say out of the ones I just showed you, I have about 50% of these coins. All of these are going up. And so that's that money that's leaking out of Bitcoin is going into these. And as more and more money goes into Bitcoin and starts to leak out, that's what we call in the crypto land alt season. All these are altcoins. And the so those are going up. But to wrap up, opening and funding, I'm gonna put in my link to make sure that you guys are able to at least look at a website that you can buy crypto with. I want you to remember the top two, Bitcoin and Ethereum. Definitely start to do your research on other coins. And my last thing I'm gonna say is researching with coins. It's really 5 things you want to pay attention to. And I can share this, that way it's not something you got to remember. It's project fundamentals, making sure that the coin actually has a team backing it with things like a strong team, strong project, strong core, volume. You want to make sure people are in it. You want to make sure that it's in an exchange, but the less exchanges actually could be a bonus for you, because when they do get on the big exchanges, it can blow up. Coin supply. So if there's only, Bitcoin has about 18 million coins total, and you can buy slivers of it, but there's some coins with billions, and then there's some coins with only a few million or thousands. And so $100 into a coin that's in the thousands or in the low millions of coin supply is a lot more valuable than something with 10 billion coin supply. And you put your 100 in there, you'll it's a part of the game and part of researching how what coins you want to get into. And low market cap, definitely want to sneak in. We're really in the infancy of this. I'm in a lot of coins that have only been out for a few months. I'm in a lot of coins that have been out for a few years. But this realm that we're entering, this wealth transfer, is real. Look up, do your own research, find out what the people you respect are talking about it, so you can see that this technology is real. Microsoft just made a deal with Ethereum. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's definitely real. And yeah, I think that concludes it. Oh, and lastly, literally my last thing is rewards and percentages of yielding from crypto. So not only do you receive value from crypto, but there's something called staking. And in your banks, when you put money into your savings and checkings and everything, the banks use that money, and you always have access to that money, but they use the money you put in to trade. And so these banks with these teams are trading trillions of dollars. But if you look at your savings, bro, you get like 0.01%, 0.03% tops. And like even CDs, like or certain things, you'll get 3%, 5% tops. And so that's with banks getting their huge chunk. So imagine there's these financial industry that don't have banks, that really hate banks. And so they're really just given that percentage, that same style, but they're just giving way more percentages back. And so if you look at these percentages, bro, just having the crypto in these wallets accrues these percentages, these rewards back. And so people are literally getting percentages that are never before seen in banks just for staking, what they call holding a coin. And like, say for example, on Coinbase, like right here, I have some coins that I'm staking. These rewards are literally happening right now. 5% interest on just holding something. You know what I'm saying? And it's literally just accruing. This is a coin Cosmos, this is coin Tezos, just accruing. And so it's interest and interest and interest that you wouldn't be getting from a bank because they're greedy, they're money hungry. This is literally just the community. But yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. And I want to continue to talk about it every week. So that concludes crypto news for the evening or the morning. Let me stop sharing. Boom. Yeah, bro. I made a lot of bread off of crypto, and it's nothing that I want to spend now. I'm only reinvesting it into more and more and more coins. So yes, I'm really looking forward to this year. What's today's date? In January 2022, we're really gonna see what crypto did. I'm really betting on it, man.
See. All right.
Sure.
Appreciate that, Dev. And just for context for the whole podcast, remember, Game 7, goals and ambition mean everything. You treat every day like it's the 7th game of the ship, right? So when I'm hard and I'm pressing back, I believe it. That's why we started this. That's why it's no 1% laugh. It's none of that, right? That's what it takes to change a culture. That's what it takes to change a culture. So between these podcasts, if you're watching and learning, go back, rewind, pause it, find something, and learn it. So when you come back, you can get hit with questions. Because all of the learning that we doing and we did, you don't necessarily have to do, at least at the same level, because we can drop some fruit for you and you can go do your thing. Well, we'll see you next week. Peace out.